This is Rando Geek. All right, guys. This article came across my newsfeed, and I just wanted to share it with you. So it looks like Qualcomm is being accused of sharing user data without the customer's permission. Basically, the headline here is Android phone chip provider was secretly collecting user data. So basically, they're being accused of sharing your information, and most users were not aware of it. Basically, there was no option to for you to opt in or out, and a lot of your data might have been collected, which Qualcomm basically used to kind of track, daily usage, performance, locations, all of that, and all the typical stuff that is usually tracked and used when a company is asking to basically track your data, right? So it's nothing different. The issue here is that they didn't acknowledge it. They didn't tell you, and it was just secretly being done. And I guess the biggest issue with this is being that you're not aware of it, right? There was no way for you to stop it. If there was a data breach, or something, the system got hacked, there was a data breach, your information was stolen, the problem lies in your hands, not theirs, right? Obviously, yes, they will be penalized, fines will be paid, so on and so forth. But you, meaning me, you, and the consumers, our information winds up on a dark web. Our identity is stolen. We now have a problem that doesn't go away, or is very difficult maybe very difficult for it to go away. So I guess that's why this is a big issue. Obviously, companies that do this in a sneaky way, that use the information without us telling them. Now, I do want to let you know that Qualcomm has updated its privacy policies and procedures shortly after this was discovered. So basically, they discovered it, and basically, shortly after, there was a revision to their privacy policy. So basically, let's read a little bit here, and then we'll wrap this up. So Qualcomm's technology is used in various mobile devices. We know that, right? They do smartphones, wearables, and industrial and automotive applications. So research published by Nitro Key on April 27th claims that hardware produced by Qualcomm was uploading users' private data, including IP addresses, to a cloud attributed to the company without their consent. So the data was not mentioned in Sony's terms of service, the vendor of the device used by a researcher, Android or OS either. So this is obviously going to violate general data protection regulation laws. So they're saying someone by the name of Paul Privacy, the researcher behind the report, claims that on top of the concerns regarding consent, the data packages are sent via the HTTP protocol and are not encrypted using HTTPS, SSL, or TLS, which right, makes this very vulnerable to attacks. So not only are they taking your information without you consenting, but they're not even taking it and protecting it in a way that's secure. They're leaving it open, and like I said, if something were to happen, if they got hacked, the customer's information is now on a dark web. So I can see why this is a huge deal, obviously, right? So two things, they messed up big time with this, and then they went ahead and tried to cover their tracks by quickly revising the policies and procedures. So this way, there's really no way that they can be liable. They can go ahead and say, well, we told you that we were going to take this data. Okay. So now they tell you, even if they did that, they revise it. We look at the policy, right? Now everything is copacetic on their end where it comes to whether or not we knew about it. They're still not securing it, right? So that's still a problem, right? They're still not securing your data, right? They're leaving it open for you, to leaving it open for them to get hacked, and for someone to take the consumer information and put it all over the dark web, right? So they still have a problem. So basically, the things that they use it for is what they take actually is unique ID, chipset name, chipset serial number, extra software version, mobile country, mobile network code, type of operating system and version, device make and model, time since last boot of application, list of software device, and then IP address. So, the IP address is very dangerous. That's not something you want in the hands of a criminal because basically they can take everything that's on your device or anything that's tied to your network, right? So they can mess with your cameras, your laptops, your phones, anything connected to that IP address. So it's a good article. It just kind of makes you think, about what's really going on and, probably why there are so many data breaches. Because as you can see here, I mean, this company, Qualcomm, is a massive company, right? We all know about them. And basically, the way that they did this, sneakily taking consumer information, tracking without permission. And obviously, they were saying that even if you turned off tracking and location, they would still be able to do it. They forced it through. So they were still tracking regardless. There was just no way for them to not be able to do it. So the point that I'm getting at though is, maybe this is why we're seeing so many data breaches. They're just not securing customer information. I mean, we obviously know they're not securing it properly, but are they securing it at all? I guess, right? So it really makes you wonder, like, how little they care about their consumer data. And, why do they need all this? Maybe they shouldn't be allowed to keep it for so long. Maybe they should use it for a couple of days and then immediately remove it, delete it. Why do they need so much data? So I don't know, who's to say what they really do with it all, right? So I'll leave the link for you in the description. Just something I wanted to touch on. I found it interesting. I found it interesting to see how they did this in such a sneaky way, tried to cover it up, but still failed because not only did they have the nerve to take your info without consent, but they didn't even have the decency to try and protect it, which is just dumb on their end, if you ask me, because they could have opened themselves up to a big security breach, So, all right, guys, that's it for this one. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that as well. Otherwise, that's it for this one, and I'll catch you later. Bye for now.